trying to make it all make sense.
The
More.
You
No.
Podcast.
I just listened to Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, interviewed by Ed Mylett on his podcast, and it was quite fascinating. I've always been fascinated by Cesar. He's somebody where I've actually studied him rather than just watching his show and watching it in a general way where you find interest. Oh, wow, he does these amazing things. I really wanted to learn the fundamentals behind what he was doing and the thoughts behind what he was doing. So when I would watch the show with my mom or someone else, I would always be analyzing him. But he had quite an interesting conversation with Ed Mylett. And it also made me think about some stuff I recently read in the book Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari, where we've had domesticated dogs 15,000 years ago. For the past 15,000 years, dogs have truly been man's best friend. And with that being said, the connection between man and dogs is unlike any other connection between animals and humans. Cesar touched on a lot of insights that you can gain through dogs and being aware of how they act and thinking about how they act. And so the first one was that in third world countries, dogs aren't on leashes. And this is kind of an obvious thing because in a third world country where there's large amounts of poverty, to pay for a leash instead of food when you can barely afford anything for your dog, it makes a lot of sense. So dogs, they walk around without leashes all the time in third world countries with no issues. Leashes is something that's really in the westernized world. And so with that being said, that control, that stressor that's put over them there, that lack of freedom in them being who they are, it's something that touches on the westernized world and in America in a lot of ways. And one of the ways that he brought up is how we restrain ourselves in a lot of ways. So whether that be being uptight with how we look or how we come across to society, rather than just focusing on present energy. Something else that Cesar brought up that has to do with this no leash and the restraints that we put on dogs in America when it's not really needed. It has to do with how we look at happiness in a large part in America. So a lot of people, they wait to be happy until they reach some accomplishment, some level, some sort of experience that they've reached. And with that being said, happiness isn't something that's defined by success or something in the external world. Happiness is an internal energy, and it's something that you can choose to live with in your life. A dog, it can be living all dirty. It can be living in a third world country where it's barely surviving. Heck, it could even be a stray dog barely outdoors, but at the end of the day, it chooses happiness in the present moment. It doesn't worry about future accomplishments, future things that are going to occur, whether they're going to fail or succeed. They know that they can have this happy energy throughout every present moment, throughout all given time. And I think that's something very fascinating that you can be aware of as you analyze and watch your dog is they're all about energy. They're all about being their true selves and being present within the moment. And that's not worrying about things in the future. It's not stressing about things that happened in the past. It's not worrying about failures. It's not hoping for successes. It's just certain emotional things such as happiness in the present moment. A lot of times high achievers and everyone, they wait to be happy until something occurs. Something happens. And if something doesn't happen or if a failure occurs, they feel that dictates their happiness. And at the end of the day, happiness is something that's within. So if you can focus on being more like your dog, and not in the senses of just living a simple life, because some of the beauty of being human is the additional consciousness that we have, but living with this focus on energy and presence and happiness and not being dictated by successes and failures and things in the material world, those will all come with the happiness. And you're also going to get more enjoyment out of life by focusing on the happiness and being present. And you're also going to do better with your relationships. Because, as I said, the dog's got 15,000 years of understanding with humans. And with that being said, and them being man's best friend, they truly understand humans' energy to a higher level than most humans understand human energy. So that's comes from them being present and them focusing on your energy rather than your words, rather than your actions, rather than your successes and your achievements. And so if you can focus on being like a dog with your relationships and with your interactions, you're going to have a higher level of success with those interactions and those things that you're trying to accomplish and those relationships that you have to build to make things happen and those relationships that you have with your friends and family. Because if you're focusing on their present energy and you're also focusing on giving off a positive, happy energy, everything's going to be a lot more positive. I hope this talk makes a positive impact in your life. Please subscribe to the podcast wherever you are listening or watching it. Check out other episodes, leave a review, and follow us on social media at More You Know Pod. Also, please don't forget about our sweepstakes. Retweet a clip with the hashtag #TheMoreYouKnow and new podcast from our Twitter for a chance to win a signed copy of my upcoming book, The More You Know, coming this fall. Tag 2 friends in the comments on a clip on Instagram for a chance to win a brand new copy of Dean Graziosi's Millionaire Mindset or Ed Mylett's Max Out. Like us or share a clip on Facebook for a chance to win a book I have read that highly inspired me, signed by me with an inspirational message. Again, thank you for listening as we propel with podcasting through the more you know.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
The More You Know Podcast.